Is she working? It looks like she is. Okay. You know what? I'll be able to tell really well now because, see, this is the cool thing about this Motorola Razr. Right now the screen's right at my eyeballs, ain't it? Like I don't have a forehead. Is that cool? Yeah, the Razr, they have that screen. That's pretty good, right? Yeah, I think we'll be able to do this. This process is going to be like springtime Demaree for swarm control. All right. So let's say it's March, April, maybe April, May, something like that. You go through your hives and you find swarm cells. Well, chances are the hive is going to be really strong. There's going to be lots of brood, it's going to be thriving, right? The first thing you do is you need to move your original hive. What we'll do, the queen's in this and everything. Let's just say it was a single deep, okay? Even if it's a double deep or whatever, move both boxes. Just move it over to the side. Just get it out of the way. Now, what's one thing you're going to notice? All these foragers, right? They're like, hey, where did our hive go? Da da da. Well, here comes your new brood chamber. Okay. Now, you don't have to do this, but since you are performing this for swarm control and you know that the hive's really strong, you're in a good nectar flow, you could probably count on getting a lot of frames made, right? Like, do you think you have another week or two of a good flow? Freaking take advantage of that. Go ahead and put a bunch of empty frames, a bunch of foundation in here. All right. Put like 9 frames of foundation, and then go through your old brood chamber here, and you need to find the queen, or you need to shake every frame off into your new brood chamber. Okay. I prefer to go through and find the queen, and that way I know for sure of my situation of thing. So I go through, I find my queen, right? I get her, I put her in a little queen clip or whatever, put her in my pocket. Then I grab 1 frame of capped brood. Okay? There doesn't have to be any you don't really want to have any larvae or anything in there, because just in case, just think if for some reason they'd want to make another queen, we don't want that to be available. So get 1 frame of mostly capped brood, put it in here. Now the rest of the empty frames, here, this frame of capped brood is just going to anchor the queen and anchor the workers and a few nurses, not a whole lot. But actually there might not be any nurse bees because they're going to be busy taking care of the open brood. So I don't know. That's a little that's a little out of my range of study. But anyways, so now we have our new brood chamber, okay? It has 1 frame of capped brood. It has the old queen, and it has a lot of empty frames. You can either have it with foundation or not, but either way they're not drawn. So, because we're thinking they're going to draw all of it. Now, next thing is, we know our queen's in there. Get our queen excluder. Goes right on top. Now we need a honey super because we need to create space between our brood chamber and our old brood chamber, which is going to be on the top here in just a second. So here's going to be, this is a deep. They say that, like the original Demaree, Mr. Demaree, he said to use 2 supers on top of your new brood chamber. Now, 2 supers or 1 deep, you know, I know for a fact this is effective. I've been doing this for a few years now, and it definitely does work. So now you have your super up here, right? It can be either drawn comb or foundation or foundationless, however you want to do it. And now here's the next thing, which some people have never really quite figured this one out yet. But the original Demaree, he said to use a second queen excluder. Well, come to find out, the reason for that is for drones. Yeah, like originally, because here the times I've done it, and if I didn't use this second excluder, I had 1,000 drones get stuck down in this bottom excluder. So what this is going to do, it's going to prevent any drones from going down into the, you know, back down into the original chamber, or the your new chamber. So that's our second excluder. Now you know what the second excluder is all about. And then here's our old brood box. Now this is the one that has all of the open brood. There's some capped brood. There's, you know, a little bit of everything in this box. So we set it on top. And then at first we just put a lid on here, okay? And just, we're gonna pretend that, because my lids are out on the other porch and I don't want to run all the way out there. So we put a tight lid on this, and the reason for that is so that the bees, if you have an entrance up here right now, these bees will make so many queen cells that, I mean, it's almost a shame at how many cells they'll make. I've had them make 30, 40 cells a few times. I mean, you're just cutting all these queen cells and they look beautiful because, you know, the hive is real strong and healthy, and there was lots of nurse bees and they're just ready to go, you know. And I mean, they make lots of new queen cells, and it's a shame just cutting all those out. So this is how I handle it. At first, put a tight lid on there, okay? Well, guess what? Our Demaree is done for now. It's done for at least 7 days. All right, now 7 days come along, and now we've had a lot of brood hatching out up here. We've had a lot of drones hatching out. The drones are going to be above this, all right? So in the original Demaree process, what his thinking was you get the lid, you pull the lid off, or you just hold it open for a little bit, for a little while. And he like said to fan the lid so that the drones can fly out. Okay, and I get that. But now what we can do, like, this is kind of advanced now, because, you know, I've been fine tuning this stuff and everything, and I'm sure other guys have too. So now, instead of doing that, we have a lot of drones up here. There's going to be a lot of queen cells too. Even though we put this lid on tight, we're going to have at least like 10, maybe a dozen queen cells. So we pull the lid off, we go through and we check each frame, and you got to shake them off into the hive when you check them, okay? Because they will definitely hide those queen cells. So make sure that you, now usually, you know, you can be higher. I just have this up on this, you get my drift. So shake each frame, shake all the bees off each frame, check it for queen cells, however many there are, make sure you cut them all out. Once you go through the whole top, then now is the time where you can add like an upper entrance. And let's see, let me grab one of those. I'm going to pause this real quick. All right, so we have our inner cover, right? I love this screen. See, I can tell it's like just barely chopping the top of my head off. And we have what, maybe a foot? It's just cool. So here's our inner cover. Now we're going to want an upper entrance once we cut all the queen cells out. And also make sure you wait at least the 7 days. They say that you can go 6, but it's 6 days and hours, all right, depending on what time of day you done your original Demaree. Here it is 6 days later. Just wait 7 days and don't go past 9. So 7 to 9 days later, you knock these queen cells down. Now we're going to make an upper entrance. So just get you an inner cover, get the notch, make sure it's facing down, okay? And the reason for this, the entire reason is for those drones. Now we're done. We're done with the Demaree. It's complete. I mean, in another, what, 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, something like that. Well, actually, 24 days from the day you perform the Demaree, all of this brood is going to be hatching out. So, and what's going to happen with this, with all these comb up here? They're going to store honey in it. So, this Demaree is complete. You're not going to have to worry about a swarm for, even if you're on a really good flow. Like if you're having them build all new comb and stuff, you just bought yourself a good month and a half. I performed my Demarees this spring. I performed them for a different reason though. I performed mine for the nectar flow. So we'll go over that one in another video. But as far as this now, for swarm control, if you're going through and you find swarm cells, people say that you can't stop a swarm once they have capped swarm cells. This will stop it dead in its tracks. So far, it's worked every time for me. It has yet to fail. So I'm not going to say it's going to work 100% of the time, but I haven't had it not work yet. So, and now the Demaree's complete. It's not that hard. A lot of people say that, you know, they don't really like to, for the fact that they have to find the queen. Then don't. Just shake them all down into your new brood chamber. You're good. And now you're going to be getting 9 new frames of comb, maybe 19 or 20. Well, 19, depending on how good your flow is and all that good stuff. And man, they're going to be putting honey up here in short form. I mean, because when you get that queen thinking that they just swarmed, man, this whole hive is going to be going into swarm mode. And you know what that does? That swarm switch, okay? That queen, she just got put into a whole new hive, okay? All of her nurse bees disappeared. Now what happens when they swarm? Same thing. Here the old queen goes out with her worker bees, with all of the foragers. They go out, they find a new tree, and then they go there and they have to build comb, right? This is it. It nails it. This Demaree dude was freaking tough. 1800s, man. The dudes knew so much more than what we do now. We have the internet. It's like, man, I'm ashamed. So, but yeah, so that's the original Demaree for swarm control, and it's not complicated. Don't let anybody complicate it for you. They're getting kind of ridiculous. So, all right, we'll go over the next one and it's going to be for to get your hive strong for a good nectar flow. So, all right, y'all have a good one. See you, bye.